Hey, 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 good evening, my beautiful butterflies and fly guys. Listen, it's Tuesday Night Live, that's right. And listen, we have a great show in store for you tonight. And I know you're ready to get into what we're going to talk about. So listen, without pause, let's get right to it. You know, there was an interesting video that was trending some time ago that recently caught my interest. And I want to take a look at that video, or at least these two videos, because I believe they often show a truth. They offer us a truth about fashion that I believe we all need to hear. So listen, go ahead and tell Lottie Dottie and everybody that HeSpoke Fashion is live, and we will be right back. All right, stay tuned. Listen, are you ready, AB? All right, let's get it. Hit it. Yeah, in the building. All right, all right. Again, thank you for joining us. And I'm so glad that you've taken time out of your busy schedule to have this conversation. And as I mentioned earlier, there was a popular TikToker by the name of I'ma Start a Riot that posted two videos concerning an incident that occurred in her life. And in these videos, she took us along on her journey in meeting someone. And I want to now play the videos, and I want to give a bit of commentary because it is my belief that there is always some value you can find. And I believe there is value here. And in our efforts to become more fashion conscious, I believe that we need to expose it. So are you ready to expose it? So listen, I want you to listen closely to both videos. And we're going to do them one at a time, so don't worry about it. But I want you to listen closely to them and see if you can find what it is that we are looking to bring to the forefront. Because I really want to show you through her experience this truth. And fellas, this is for you. I want to show you through her experience that, fellas, if you really want a baddie, you can do this. If you really want the one, follow these tips, all right? So AB, let's go ahead and play part one of our two-part video series. And we'll have some commentary, some dialogue right after this video clip.
I saw this fine man walking into the post office, and I knew he was fine. I knew he was. Let him go in there. I was a few steps behind him. He didn't see me. I walked in there. He see me. He double checked like 6 times.
Okay. So now, while it appears, at least to me, that this woman, listen, she's a very talented storyteller, and you can observe that right off, because she keeps you engaged in the play-by-play of her experience. In addition, from looking at her, listen, you know what I'm about to say. You can tell that this was a casual day for her. I got you right. I got you that time. And she was really not dressed if she were going out to an event or even a date. And you know what? It often amazes me, at least, how some women can wear just about anything and still look appealing enough for someone to approach them to ask them out. Doesn't that amaze you? I mean, there are some beautiful butterflies that can throw on just about anything and still look very attractive. Now notice now that I did say some can do that. But for the rest of you all, please look, don't even try. And you know what? That's okay. If you must, like me, take the time to ensure that you are nicely put together before you leave home. It's okay if you have to do that. I mean, really, what difference does it make if one has to take the time while the other does not? If we both arrive at the goal at the same time. You understand what I'm saying? So shout out to my beautiful butterflies who are single, because listen, just a footnote here. If you've already observed, there are other places to meet suitable men than in the club, or listen, even at church. There are other places. As she says in this video, that this was a casual visit to the post office that, watch this, delivered this gift for us. Now, to my fly guys, are you hearing this? She starts off telling us that she saw this fine guy, right? So let me ask you a question. Who saw who first? Well, it sounds to me that she saw him before he saw her. And then she substantiates this when she says, I walked in behind him. He didn't even see me. But further into the video, in her efforts to tell us how much the guy was checking her out, she is almost revealing just how much she is doing the same. Did you get that? Sometimes when you think they're not watching, fellas, they're watching. See, she would never admit it, probably, like most women, right? They're not going to admit it. But we can clearly see that the only way you would notice him checking for you would be if you were checking for him. That's the moral of the video.
Okay? I was just doing my best to not make eye contact. We walk outside, and he got a nice car. Why, Lord? Why ain't say nothing? He's still at the light. Why ain't say nothing? Why we both just pulled up to...
All right, listen. Fellas, listen. I know that some people will say that she appears to be very superficial. But did you catch it when she said she had a very nice car? Yeah, that sounds superficial, right? But I want you to pencil this down on your goals, the goals list, if you haven't already. And that is simply this. Get yourself a nice whip, all right? Get yourself a nice whip. Now, when I say nice, what I mean is nice for you. And that should mean something that you can afford and also afford to keep clean, right? You want to do that. So let's go ahead and look a little bit more of this clip.
The UPS store. It so looks like I'm following him. Like, it's bad how bad it looks like I'm following him. Okay, things just escalated super quick. As I left USPS, I had to go to UPS, and we both were stuck at the light, but I was 2 cars behind him in the lane next to him. So it felt like he was waiting on me, but that's just the universe, right? So as he goes through the light, I go through the light. We both pull in to the UPS parking lot. I park right next to him. I'm like, oh my God. So of course, as I hop out the car, he walks straight up to my car. He's like, ma'am, I am so sorry. You are so gorgeous. And I'm just like, I'm flustered at this point. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm good. He's like, no, I would love to take. He's like, what are you shipping off? What a fucking question, my nigga. Like, you don't know me. I could be shipping off drugs for all you know. But I'm like, shit. He's like, well, you know I work for FedEx, so like I can help you out. It could be cheaper. I was like, I wanted to be like, that's not a flex. That's not what I wanted to hear. Baby, tell me you sell drugs. That's what I want to hear. So what?
Listen, she's very animated. Now, listen, while many may be thrown off by her suggestion that he be a drug dealer instead of working for FedEx, let's keep it 100, right? Many of you know exactly what she means by that. You know, come on, there are certain perks that come along with dating a pharmaceutical sales rep, then dating a FedEx delivery driver. Come on, there's certain perks that come along. And one perk, many would say, are the flexible hours along with the easy money. But here is the challenge. The challenge is for many young men that are outside right now. The challenge for many of them is to strike the right balance with your looks, right? With your appearance, without doing anything illegal to obtain them. Now, I know you want to wear the Gucci, the Louis Vuitton, the Givenchy, the Christian Dior. You want to wear all those things, but make sure you don't have to do anything illegal to get them. But you know what? Shameless plug here. That's why you should watch the show we did last week on the topic, how fashion can make you look more successful. That's right. You should probably try to check that show out, right? Just check that out. Go to our Facebook or YouTube page and check that video out. Let's watch a little bit more and we'll come right back and have a little bit more commentary, all right?
What do you think I did? He was like, well, can I have your number? I would love to get to know you. I was like, I'm sorry, sir, because mind you, we're over here by USF, like in a college area. You gotta ask. He's driving a fucking Charger. Like, no, nothing against Chargers, but that comes off very much so like I'm in college, okay? He was like, I'm 31. He got offended. He's like, I'm 31. I said, nigga, I'm 33. I was just asking. I gotta ask, Now he got his homeboy next to us in the dome, sitting on 24s, jacked up.
Okay, one thing I want you to note here, right? I want you to take note of the confidence that whoever this young man is, the confidence that he possesses. He didn't wait for her to ask him out. Instead, he made the first move. Now, remember, we said that she saw him first. We noted that at the beginning. She saw him first. But once he saw her, he did not hesitate to make the first move. Now, what gave him the confidence to do so? Was it the car he drove? Was it the fact that he had a job? Or was it something else? From her conversation, we already know that the job didn't impress her, right? We know. She said, excuse me, so you work for UPS? No, she said FedEx, right? But we're going to later find out, I believe, that not only did the job not impress her, but neither did the car. The nice car in question that was nice enough in the beginning by her own admission was a Charger. However, now it doesn't, at least in my humble opinion, appear to be enough to seal the deal for her. You know what? I often wonder how much difference a car makes when a woman is making her decision. For instance, if he would have been driving a more expensive car, would it have intensified her desire to meet him? Listen, my beautiful butterflies, I want you to help me out. Help me out in the chat with that question. Does the car make you want the guy even the more so? I want to know, because I got a hoopty. Y'all, I got a hoopty. I mean, when I say hoopty, it was whoo. That's the sound it makes when it goes down the street. Whoo. No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously. Let's watch a bit more of this video and we'll come right back.
He's definitely shipping off drugs for him. Like, gotta be. That's all I'm thinking in my head. I'm a Florida girl. Like, this shit. Anyways, I know how this go. And he was just like, well, can I take you out to dinner or something? I was like, I got kids. He was like, that's fine. Like, it's okay. It's really nice to meet you. I was like, take my number, man. Get out my face. Moral of the story. I don't know how to date. I don't know how to talk to people. I lead with my children and I lead with my age. Like, I'm obviously trying to scare anybody away. And also, gorgeous with Crocs on. Ain't nothing about me gorgeous right now. You lucky I brushed my teeth. Like, I saw this fine man walking into the
All right, all right. She said gorgeous. So now that we have watched part one, let's now look at part two. Now we have already confirmed, in my opinion, a few things. Number one, she likes what she saw in the young gentleman on day one. And then number two, although she is a wonderful looking woman, she does not appear to be too confident in her appearance. She said gorgeous, but there seems to be something else. And then number three, she also recognizes, and this one is for all of my younger beautiful butterflies that are watching this. She also recognizes that her children, now listen, hear me close. I'm not throwing any shade, but she does recognize that her children may hinder some men from pursuing anything further with her other than an initial introduction. All right, and that's key. That's just a footnote there. So AB, let's roll part two, and we'll be right back to have a bit more commentary.
So since I have a little bit of time, I know it's been a few months, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all what happened to USPS/UPS Bay. So it's been a few months, so you have to forgive me. I'm not gonna completely remember every step by step, but it's just funny how this all went. So after that, give my number, and me and my girlfriends had met up, and our plans ended up changing or canceling or something. So I was like, well, Buddy just asked me to pull up to, I just saw somebody hit somebody. Buddy asked me to pull up to his people's party, so let's pull up. Now, usually when someone invites you to a family party, it's just like, their family is usually cool, and like, it's probably one of the younger people's in the family. No. Reluctantly, my friends pulled up with me. They made me stop and get a present too, because I'm not like that. I ain't like that. I'm gonna pull up and I'm gonna bring the vibes. That's what I got. That's all I got for you. But Dina, being the white woman that she is, told me to grab a bottle. So I grab a bottle, boom, we pull up. It is his 80-something-year-old grandfather's birthday party. Why did you play with me? That's strike number one. Then I pulled up and I hated. And when I tell you hated, his outfit. I cannot stand a nigga that cannot dress. I hate a nigga that tries to put on a pair of ones and the ones are trash. And if you don't know any better, then just don't do it. So I was irritated. And then he just wasn't giving me the energy that I wanted. Like, his family was cool as hell. Like, super duper cool. My friends had a blast. Like, we turned that party out. I mean, we're a ball of energy. That was gonna happen. So in summation,
All right. So listen, in this particular clip, we now find that there were a few setbacks from this chance meeting with whom I'm going to call the Charger guy. All right. So number one, it sounds like he was not clear enough on the occasion he was inviting her to. And to all my fellas, let me stress to you the importance on being clear on the where and the what when it comes to inviting someone to an engagement. Women hate that. When you tell them that they're, just meet me out at a particular place and you don't tell them what the occasion is, and then they come either overdressed or underdressed. It's horrible when that happens. But she calls that, like so many other women would, strike number one. Strike number one. All right. Secondly, I think we have now stumbled upon the one thing that I believe hindered this relationship, or this by chance meeting from moving on any further. And listen, you guessed it. She said this one irritated her. What was it? This is HeSpoke fashion, so you know what it was. It was his fashion. Oh my gosh. Her words were his outfit. I can't stand an N-word who cannot dress. But she even went a bit further, and which is what I would like to do, is that she broke it down a bit more. And I want to look at the breakdown separately, because I believe that there are a few nuggets that are key that I want to share with you. First of all, she starts with his sneakers. You know, it wasn't that she didn't like his Air Force Ones. It was that the ones that he had on that day, she said, in her words, they were trash. Now, what can we then conclude? First of all, I believe that sometimes it is not the brand, right? Because we are brand conscious, but it is the condition of the brand. So in this particular occasion, the condition of the shoes is the problem. And that is why it is imperative, man, come on, fellas, hit me close, that we keep our shoes in excellent condition. If you can, listen, I want to just give you this caveat. If you can, please don't go cheap on your shoes when it is at all possible. If you purchase a quality shoe, let me just help you. If you purchase a quality shoe, it will last longer, and it won't show as much wear and tear as a cheaper shoe. And by all means, please, please keep them polished or clean, because nothing says trash like a dirty pair of Air Force Ones, or dusty like the N-word wear them, all right? You don't want to have these dusty, old-looking Air Force Ones. Now, there is a video on the most affordable method to keep them clean. And by clean them, I mean the Air Force Ones. And here, this is the video here. And you know what I'll do? I'll do you a favor. I'll put the link in the description of this video below, all right? Okay, so I'll keep the link there for you. So let's go back to the video, and we're gonna share just a little bit more. Go ahead and hit the like and share button if you haven't already. Remember, this is HeSpoke Fashion. And I'm your host, Daylon Thomas. We'll be back.
I ended up leaving. He tried to give me this elongated ass hug, and I was like, I gotta go. Me and my friends, we have plans. We had no plans. It was time to go home and think about it was time to think about, why did I put myself in this situation? And I've seen everybody's comments underneath the last video. Mind your fucking business, okay? I like what I like. I'm very stubborn. I'm single for a reason. The guy was very sweet. He was kind of attractive. I thought he was way more attractive than what he actually was. He just wasn't for me. And just because someone likes me doesn't mean I have to like them back. If he's not my steez, then he's just not my style. It is what it is. Can't force things. He has since tried to communicate with me. He's tried to approach me with business opportunities. He's a sweet guy. It's just, I am not interested. And I can't fake being interested. But it made for a great story. So since I have a little bit of time.
All right. Now, I was just thinking of a familiar story, a story that my mother used to tell me, just when I think about keeping your shoes clean, if we could just drop the music down just a little bit. And my mother used to tell me about my grandfather and how, and this is just in alignment with, and just to give a little bit more on just the fact that you should keep the shoes up to par. My mother used to tell me how, first of all, my grandfather used to love, he wore white shoes. Like he would wear those white shoes when he would go to church on Sunday. And look, it didn't matter what color suit it was. He was going to wear those white shoes and he would keep them clean. But not only did he keep his shoes clean, but he also kept my mother and her sisters and even his sons' shoes up to par. He would shine those shoes before Sunday morning. He would have them lined up, ready for them to put on to go to church or wherever it was that they were to wear those shoes. And let me tell you, it wasn't just one or two children. It was 10 of them. But he took so much pride in taking care of their shoes. And probably that's the reason why mother made sure that I took care of mine. Of course, my father was military, so he taught me how to shine my shoes. Why? How? By showing me how to shine his boots. Shout out to my pops, yeah. I shined plenty of his boots growing up. That's right. But listen, as we continue on, as we look at this video clip, she ends with the fact that his energy was different when she met him at the event. But there was something altogether different from the first impression she had of him and this one. What was it? She makes the statement that he was kind of attractive. Now listen, if you go back and look at that first video, she was all on my boy, right? She was all on him. But now he was kind of attractive. She then says, I thought he was way more attractive than he actually was. And here lies a truth that I want to share, and I think we need to explore. We often say that you can never make a first impression twice. And while that's true, I believe the second, third, and fourth impressions are equally important. So what happened in between the first and second impression? Do you know? Do you know what happened? Are you over this? Oh, you wake now. You wake now. Okay, do you know? Oh, back to sleep you go? Okay, all right, all right. But what happened between the first? Do you know? You've been watching all the time. Do you know what happened? Well, I'll tell you. You see, the Charger guy only had the one good outfit. And when that was worn, he had nothing left to wear. Bruh. Listen. Of course, that may not be the case, but listen, how many times has that happened to us, guys? I mean, you have to take the necessary steps to build your wardrobe. Yeah, I did say build because that is exactly what I meant. When you build a wardrobe, you take a step-by-step approach, and it is all on purpose. What do I mean? Well, for instance, you purposely start with the foundation. And in fashion, that could be simply those items that hold true no matter the occasion. Watch this. Things like jeans, blazers, white button-down shirt, short sleeve polo, casual slacks, dress slacks, a tracksuit, lastly, a dress suit and tie. That is the foundation your wardrobe should build upon. And if so, everything else can be added onto this foundation. So there are ways to make the simplest of your foundational items pop. Because I know you're saying, bruh, a pair of jeans? Well, exactly. Because the jeans, for instance, can be worn with a nicely colored top that gives it that wow factor. And you know what? Even wearing a nice belt brings the right kind of attention. And then even the more so when it comes to wearing a tracksuit. There are so many options out there that make the normal tracksuit look as if it is only to be worn at the gym. The you know, the back in the day sweatsuit, right? We didn't call them tracksuit, we call them sweatsuits. But however, today's tracksuits are definitely to be worn almost anywhere. And with the brighter colors. Yeah. They make a bold statement. Now, when I mentioned suits earlier, I know that many of you probably frowned and said, okay, he was doing quite well. He happy with everything else. But this one shows that he doesn't quite know what he's talking about. I heard you talking about me. I did. I heard you, man. Look, you ain't have to do that. You ain't have to do that. But anyway, let me caution you to not make a decision that you would have to change later. Why? Because today's suits aren't your grandfather's suits, right? Today's suit choices are not your grandfather's suit choices. These suits can often be worn with a tie, which gives it a more business or corporate look. And so you need that as part of your foundation. But then you can also remove the shirt and tie and replace them both with a turtleneck. Yeah. Shout out to my boy Maurice. Maurice was rocking this look at the Gray holiday party this year in Charlotte, North Carolina. Shout out to Maurice and to Herb Gray. But you can rock it with this turtleneck, and you now have what I consider to be a more intellectual look that shouts, I know what I'm talking about. And then you can move on from this look, because there's also no rule that says you must wear hard bottom shoes or what we call dress shoes with a suit. At least that doesn't hold true anymore. And there are several looks when choosing to exercise your options. First, there's more of a slim fit look with sneakers, which we saw with that Odell Beckham look. And then there is yet another more loose fit look, as we see here, worn with sneakers. And yes, that red is popping. Again, who said that you must wear a tie with a shirt button to the top? Who said that? Because these styles bring about a more debonair look, if you ask me. And if you show up on your second date, hear me fellas, hear me. If you show up on your second date wearing either one of these, I can guarantee there will be a third and perhaps a fourth date. Good loving body, rockin' boots all night long. Oh, I mean, come on. But listen, she then argues with her audience that were commenting in that clip. And I would say that they may not have agreed with her comments up to that point. That if he is not my style, then he is not my style. This is her words. Remember her saying that. And this is really important. Why is this important? Because many of us have purchased the luxury brands, and we thought because we wore those brands, since we wore those brands, that it automatically deemed us as being stylish. But we found out that fashion was the what that you wear, while style is the how you wear it. Did you get that? There were many guys that I grew up with that had plenty of style, although they had limited fashion. And you know what? I'm gonna be quite honest, because I was quite dapper with the brands back in the day. You know, I had to Jordan. I'm not gonna date myself, but anyhow, those guys that had more style than fashion normally pulled all the girls because they were so fresh. That's right. You see, if the Charger guy would have paid just as much attention to his style when he invited her over to his grandfather's birthday party as he did when he met her the first time, then perhaps he could have made this baddie his woman at the end of the day. See, at the end of the day, there was really one thing that caused him to fail. And it is the same thing that is separating you from the things that you want most. And that is, my friends, what you are wearing and how you are wearing it. Just think about it for a moment. The one you want is turned off by your wardrobe. Yes, your dream girl is turned off by your wardrobe. Oh, that's not the one for you? Then what about this one? See, you may not believe me when I say this, but even your job, the job you want, also has been hindered by your lack of style and fashion. Yes, sis, my beautiful butterflies, what you wore to the interview killed that job for you, but you'll do better the next time. And you know what? Even getting that dream car is being hindered because of your wardrobe. You know what? The sales guy didn't even bother to come out of the office to show you the car simply because you didn't look like you could even afford it. Wrong or right, we all know that how people perceive us determines how they treat us. Let me say that again. Wrong or right, how people perceive us, how they see us, determines how they treat us. Goes the same for your children. Wouldn't you love to have that dream car right now? I know I would. Oh, that's not the one for you? Then what about this one? Get out my car, man. He was just bringing it around for me. Just imagine you in the driver's seat being handed the keys by the salesperson who told you no, or didn't even bother to show you the car the first time. Listen, fellas, what are you still waiting on? Are you just confused? I want you to do me a favor and rid yourself of that stinking thinking and embrace your fashion journey, and you too can have the life you desire and the girl you desire too. Fellas, are you ready to take steps toward living your best life? If that is you, and you are willing to do what is necessary, then guess what? I want to help you along the way. I want you to reach out to me on our website at HeSpokeFashionLive.com for a one-on-one coaching session to help you to build the wardrobe that will launch you into your destiny. You know what? This guy may have missed out on having a relationship that could have led to marriage only because he didn't make the second impression as good as the first. Don't let that happen to you. And you know what? I know you won't. Listen, I've really enjoyed you all on tonight, and I hope you enjoyed this discussion. Again, it was my aim to use this woman's journey to highlight a truth about fashion and about its ability to open doors to the life we desire for ourselves. Did this woman, have her own issues? Of course she did, just like you and me. But those issues may have made her more like the woman who was made for him than not. But he nor we will ever know because he missed his moment. Now listen, I want to offer this challenge to you, both to my beautiful butterflies and my fly guys. I want you to make this declaration. I challenge you to make this declaration. That's simply this. I will use fashion and style to assist me in never missing another opportunity for having the life I desire. That's my challenge. And that's all I have for you tonight. I want you to have a good night, good fashion, and remember, he spoke fashion to you. See you next time. Hope you'll join us. Yeah, in the building. Leave your questions and comments, and remember, this is He Spoke Fashion, and I really appreciate you all for watching. Please take time to follow us on Facebook, and if you really like this episode, what you think, leave your questions and comments, and remember, this is He Spoke Fashion, and I really appreciate you all for watching. Please take